Hello, my friend. My name is Jordan, and I am so excited you clicked on this video today. I want to start by congratulating you on your pregnancy. That is such exciting news. So I'm going to be sitting on a meditation cushion, and you can always just grab pillows or couch cushions or whatever works for you, whatever you have available. I'll also be using a big bolster, some blocks, a blanket, and a little exercise band at the very end. So go ahead and gather whatever supplies that you need and find a comfortable place, and let's hop right into it. We are going to start by finding a comfortable seat, so I suggest you sit up on a cushion or pillow of some kind so that your hips are above your knees, and just get comfortable, kind of start to settle in. You can close your eyes. And really just begin to tune in to your breath. Soften the shoulders, crown of your head tall. Inhaling for 4, and exhaling out the mouth like you were trying to cool off something hot, kind of blowing like that. Exhaling out the mouth for 6. Inhaling through the nose for 4, and out the mouth for 6. As you continue breathing in this way, you can bring your hands to your baby, or if you're super early on, just your lower abdomen. As you take just 2 or 3 more deep breaths, place all of your attention on the growing baby inside of you. When you're ready, you can open the eyes, shake out any little movements you need to take, and anytime throughout the practice, you can return to that breathing, inhaling through the nose for 4, and then exhaling out the mouth for 6. Anytime during the practice, return to that breathing if it felt good to you. Otherwise, you can just return to normal breathing in and out through the nose. We're going to start by doing some side bends. So you can bring your hand to your hip or the floor. Reach your right arm up and over, opening through all the muscles on the side of our body. You can close the eyes here if you'd like, or keep them open, keeping your gaze wherever is comfortable for your neck. Big inhale, exhale, coming up, reaching up and over to the other side. Good. One more on each side. So going back to the side we started on. Over to the second side one more time. Good. Returning to neutral. We are going to set up for puppy pose next, so you can remove anything you have under your seat and keep all of your pillows and everything close. So with puppy pose, it's kind of like a modified down dog. So we're keeping our hips directly above our knees. Our knees are going to stay planted. And then you're going to slowly lower and walk your torso down to the ground. And if that feels comfortable for you, you can do it with no props, but I really like to either put like a cushion underneath my chest because we're going to be here for about a minute or so. Something just to make it a little bit easier. So whether you're using a cushion or a pillow or anything like that, just find where it feels the most comfortable. If you have it under your head, you can start with your head facing one direction and then switch it partway through, or under your chest so your head can be down. And as we hold these poses, you can return to our breathing that we started this practice with, or just placing our attention on our baby and just connecting and like taking those moments to place all of our attention there before we get into the rest of our day. When you're ready, you can slowly start to walk your torso back up to all fours. Take a cat-cow if that feels good to you. Now we're going to set up for a supported child's pose. So with this one, I like to grab my long bolster, set the cushion aside. And the difference between puppy pose and child's pose is in child's pose, we're going to take the knees wide and sit our seat all the way back. So if you can comfortably sit all the way back in child's pose, you might not need anything under your seat, but if you do, I would grab a pillow or a blanket or something just to kind of stick right here so that you can comfortably sit all the way back. We don't want to be straining at all because we're going to be holding this for a couple of minutes. You can take a bolster or a pillow underneath your torso. Take your arms out wide or stretch them out, whatever feels comfortable for you. Taking the extra few moments that you need to make sure that you're comfortable and everything feels right so that you can just settle in. I'm going to start with my head to one side, and partway through I'll just do a gentle reminder to switch your head sides. Go ahead and switch your head to the other side if you haven't already. Gently press your torso up. You're going to come out of this pose very slowly. Just kind of walking up, removing the bolster, pressing your seat up to all fours. Again, take a little cat-cow or whatever feels good to you. Next, we are going to be setting up for a reclined butterfly. So this one is super fun and you'll need all of the props for this one. We're going to start by building a little block tower. So we need a bolster, or again a couch cushion would be great for this. And some kind of block or something hard, like a little chair or something would work. We're going to kind of create a kickstand for our bolster. So when I'm going to lean my back against this. When I lean against that, it should support me. Bring your hips right up to the block. And really take time to set these types of poses up. You want it to feel right, and it's worth that extra time. Good. Once we have our kickstand made, then we're going to bring our legs into a butterfly shape. Soles of the feet touching. You can have your feet farther away from you if that feels better, or closer to you, whatever feels right. Just kind of play with it. And if you have even more pillows and blocks handy, I might suggest putting something underneath your knees as well. So put my pillow on one side and my block on the other. They're about the same height. You can bring your hands, palms facing up to the floor next to your seat. Close your eyes. Really just melt when you feel like your body is relaxed. See if you can relax it just a tiny bit farther. Let your legs be just a tiny bit heavier. return to focusing on your breath and your baby. Inhaling through the nose for 4. Out the mouth for 6. If that makes your nausea worse, then feel free to just breathe normally or whatever is comfortable. We'll be here for another couple of minutes. ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Use your hands to press your torso back up to seated. Remove your props. For our last pose, we're going to do legs up the wall. So if you clicked on this video, likely you are in your first trimester and you're fine to lay on your back still. But if you are having morning sickness later in pregnancy, then I encourage you to either stay in this position or take a shavasana laying on your side, which I explain in the video that I will link up above. But for everybody else, grab your strap or some kind of like string or t-shirt or something, and I like to put a blanket underneath my hips. So I'm gonna set the blanket right up against the wall. I like to put the straps around my ankles so that I can completely relax and my legs aren't trying to come apart and go into too deep of like a straddle stretch against the wall. If that feels good to you, you can go for it. So getting into this position can be a little bit tricky, especially if you're not feeling your best. But I like to just bring my hips close to the wall, kind of like that. And then as you lower your back onto the ground, you can kind of pivot your seat around and the legs can go up the wall. The strap is going around my ankles, kind of shimmying my hips a little closer to the wall, straightening out your legs, but relaxing all of your muscles. That's why I have the strap here, so I can just completely relax and not having to hold them in place. You can bring your hands, palms facing up, at your sides, or onto your baby on your lower abdomen if you'd like. I encourage you to keep your legs up the wall as long as possible and just revel in the last few moments of peace and quiet and time to connect with your baby. But when you're done, you can bring your legs to the side and slowly sit up. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me on this practice today and congratulate you again on your beautiful baby growing inside you. Again, it is such an exciting time and I'm so happy that you're choosing to spend some of it with me. If you are new to yoga or just newly pregnant and you're wondering how your practice needs to change, while you are pregnant. I encourage you to check out the video linked at the end of this video, as well as down in the description box below. I have a beginner prenatal yoga class that I walk you through all of the must-know things about like how you should modify for a prenatal yoga class. So I encourage you to check that out. But for now, I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. Namaste.